Hello and welcome to another week of Knowing God by Name. I am Gwen Smith with Girlfriends in God, and I am so excited that you've joined us on this journey to get to know God better by exploring His name and His character. I was very excited to be able to celebrate a wonderful event with my husband this year. We just celebrated 20 years of marriage. Yay! It was exciting and we wanted to do something special, so we planned a trip and we saved and then took a trip far, far away to several different cities. And in each city we found ourselves doing a lot of walking, a lot of exploring, and a lot of climbing. We wanted to go to the high places so we could see better and see things from a different perspective. And so every city we found ourselves in, we ended up climbing. And when we got to the higher places, the views changed. It was amazing. Our vision was expanded and we saw further and saw a ton more. We got a bigger picture of the city. While we were up there, it was interesting to see both the beautiful elements of the city and then the not so beautiful elements of the city. It just depended. We would see maybe some construction sites or some waste areas, but the big payoff was getting to see those amazing areas of getting to see sunsets from big picture and gardens and landscapes and beautiful buildings. And that was a wonderful, wonderful thing. But as high as we went, whatever spot we got to in every city, there was always the clouds above us that were way higher. And above them, the stars that came out at night. And then millions of galaxies are above and beyond the stars that we were able to see with our eyes. So though those places were amazing and the views from the high places were always really, really great, there was always higher places beyond our sight. There were places beyond our reach, places beyond our knowledge, and beyond our experience. Well, as you and I both read this week in our Knowing God by Name book, that is not the case with God. There's nothing bigger, there's nothing more important, there's nothing as high as or as awesome as our God. I love what Psalm 47 has to say about God, and in verse 2 in particular, it actually, in one little verse, it shows us three names of God. It is packed chock full with God. It says, "How awesome is the Lord Most High, the great King over all the earth." So the three words, the three names of God illuminated in Psalm 47:2 are Lord, and then Most High, and King. So let's just unpack that a little bit. I thought it would be kind of fun to break that down in light of what we read this week. So it starts off with how awesome is the Lord, and that is all capitals, L-O-R-D. The Hebrew of that particular word is Yahweh. It is Jehovah. That means the existing one. It is a proper noun and it makes reference to the one true God. That is the proper name for God. So how awesome is the Lord Most High. This week we read about God Most High, El Elyon, that there is nothing beyond Him, there's nothing higher than Him, that He is the Most High, and He should be our most high priority. How awesome is the Lord Most High. He is the King of all the earth. And then we also see God as our King. He is the King of Kings. The Hebrew name for King is Melech. What's interesting when I did a little research is I found out that the word king, that Melech, is referenced in the Bible 2,520 times. That is a ton. But now there are a few times when the reference is not to God, and that's just about earthly rulers. But that name, King of Kings, it indicates that God is preeminent. He is supreme. He is awesome. He is the grand ruler, and He is a pretty big deal, right? I love what the theologian A.W. Tozer had to say about the way we think of God. He said, "What comes to our mind when we think about God is the most important thing about us." It's very compelling. This week, when we reviewed these names of God, they really reflected His eminence and His authority and His grandeur and just His awesome nature. If you flip from the Old Testament to the New Testament, you get to see a beautiful picture of this in the relationship between John the Baptist and Jesus. It was interesting because Jesus held John the Baptist in high esteem. And at one point in Luke chapter 7, verses 28, Jesus said of John the Baptist, "I tell you, among those born of women, there is no one greater than John." Okay, that is some pretty impressive stuff right there. Jesus is giving a major shout out to John the Baptist and presenting him as a godly man, as obviously a man who was held in high esteem for God. But look at what John the Baptist had to say about Jesus. He said, "He must become greater, and I must become less." The ESV version of that same verse says, "He must increase, but I must decrease." That's one of the things that really illuminates from the text of this week is the greatness of our God. As you move into a time of discussion and a time of reflection, a time of response, as you consider the context that we looked at this week and dive into those questions, my prayer for each and every single one of us is that our hearts would echo that sentiment of John the Baptist, that we would humble ourselves before a mighty and big and awesome God, that we would think less of us and more of Him. I pray that as you move forward and connect with one another and continue to seek and know our God more, that He will continue to blow your mind with His awesomeness in a fresh way as you seek Him.